Welcome to this session of Rotary Foundation Basics. This one's called Keeping Track. Keeping track of what? Of contributions made by you or by your Rotary Club to the Rotary Foundation. And we'll also talk a little bit about setting goals for that and how we do all of that online through myrotary.org. This is Ray Shire, past District Governor, Rotary District 5320. I'll be taking you through these learning objectives for this session. We're going to learn how to sign in to My Rotary at Rotary.org, how you can see and possibly edit your club's goals in Rotary Club Central, how you can always take a look at your own giving history, which is personal to you and cannot be seen by others in this Rotary district, how you can also print Rotary Foundation reports for your club, and of course, how you can give online the fast and easy way with Rotary Direct. We'll be reviewing some of these reports today: the club fundraising analysis, which is a snapshot of your club's history, the club recognition summary, which shows the members of your Rotary Club and their total recognition to date, the Every Rotarian Every Year report, which shows how your club is doing and encouraging participation by every member of your Rotary Club each and every Rotary year. And finally, the Paul Harris Society report, which can help you identify and motivate those people in your club who are supporting the Rotary Foundation already and may be ready to make that commitment to make a $1,000 a year donation to the Rotary Foundation. Let's go first to Rotary.org. Now, this is the public-facing page of Rotary.org. This was redesigned in 2013 in order to be more exciting, more interactive, and to draw in members of the public to our website and to our service. The first thing that you want to do is to click the upper left link for My Rotary Sign In Register. And when you click the Sign In Register page, this is what you will see. If you have already created an account, then you should proceed to put in your email address and your password. If you have not yet created an account in My Rotary, then we encourage you immediately after this webinar is finished to go to Rotary.org and click the Create Account link. For assistance in doing this, please follow the Contact Us links and the other information available on the website. The assistance and support for this is directed solely by Rotary International, and so they are very good, even on the telephone, in getting you up and running and getting access to My Rotary. Again, we are looking at the Rotary.org website. Once you have been up and running on My Rotary and you sign in, when you sign into My Rotary, you will be taken to your own personal My Rotary profile page. Of course, you are looking at my personal Rotary profile page, Ray Shire. And at the top of the page, we see recent news. In this case, we are looking at Rotary releasing $34.8 million for polio immunization activities worldwide. You can read more about that from your profile page. And of course, you could share that on social media and other places. And of course, when you share that, you want to let them know that it was the Rotary Foundation that released $34.8 million, and that's why they should give in order to help us eradicate polio. On the right, my messages. Your inbox is currently empty. This is a back of the house system. You can communicate with other Rotarians that you find through the system worldwide and use this as a messaging service. Recent announcements by the Rotary Foundation and Rotary International. And then as we continue down the page, we'll see other things that are spotlighted. This is where you would go, for example, to register for upcoming convention, to find other resources such as the Brand Center and information about polio. On the left, you'll see information about your own Rotary Club. Of course, this is mine, but it will show your website and where you meet, date and time, and current president, that kind of thing. In the middle is the app for the Find a Club. Very useful. More information and links about news. And on the left again, where we start to see these blue bars. These are the club's goals during this current year. We're looking at 14-15 at the moment. And how the club is achieving those goals is graphically represented. Paging down even further, below those goals, we see the blue link for View Goals, Rotary Club Central. Now, Rotary Club Central is a module within My Rotary for entering and tracking the goals of the Rotary Club. It's important to note that every member of the Rotary Club can log in through My Rotary and see the goals and see how the club is coming along, or even if they've set them at all. But only those officers that have been identified in the system for that year can actually edit the goals. So since we're looking at 14-15, for example, only the 14-15 officers would be able to edit the goals for that year. Before we leave this page and look closer at the goals, below that, below my profile, where you can add all kinds of stuff about yourself and your interests, we see featured links including Rotary Direct. This is where you may sign up easily for Rotary Direct in order to control how often and how much you wish to give to the Rotary Foundation and charge it to your credit card. Okay, let's go ahead, click on View Goals, and we'll go into the Rotary Club Central module. So here now we're looking at the landing page for Rotary Club Central for my club, since I'm logged in as Ray Shire, member of the Orange Plaza Rotary Club. It is showing me one of three tabs. The three tabs across the top are Your Club, which deals primarily with membership goals; Service, where clubs can actually enter their service projects and what they hope to achieve and track their goals that way; and Foundation Giving on the third tab. Of course, during this session, we're concerned with foundations, so we will be talking about the Foundation Giving tab. But before we leave, I also want you to look at the left side menu. This menu appears on each tab. And in addition to viewing your club, you can also see how the district's doing. You can also access resources connected to that particular tab. In this case, your club would probably be the membership resources. And finally, at the bottom, reports. And we'll get to reports a little bit later, but we are able to find the related reports for the tab by clicking on the reports link to the left. Let's go ahead now and take a look at that Foundation Giving tab. When you move to the Foundation Giving tab, the first thing you're going to see, as you see when you look at any of the other tabs, is the trends report. And in this first chart, we see how my club is doing in relation to its giving for the annual fund contributions over the last 5 years. Now, the orange line is the goal, and the bluish line is the year to date. And over the past few years, we did exceed our goal, but we haven't yet this year because we're sitting on a little money we need to send in to the Rotary Foundation. But we have set a goal in the system that looks to be around $8,000, and we hope to achieve that in the 14-15 year. Paging down on that same Rotary Foundation tab, we're going to see in numbers what we're achieving. We have set for the 2014-15 year a total goal of $85.75. We're 8% there because we have a little work to do. And that means that out of our 10 members, we have $74 per person that's been contributed, and a total year to date of $670 to the annual fund. Continuing down, we see under goals and progress, there's 3 tabs. We're currently looking at the 2014-15 tab, but we could also click over on 13-14, see how we did there. And of course, the big one, we can click on 15-16 and begin to enter our goals for the coming year so that we can track and achieve those in the upcoming 18 months. You see at the bottom, annual fund, there is the edit button on the right hand side. Because I am an officer of my club for this year, I can actually click on that to edit our goals for our foundation giving. If I do that, I will see this screen. And this is broken down into the various types of goals we might have for the Rotary Foundation. In my club, we have 2 members who we have identified as having given $1,000 or more in the past, and that we expect them to continue to do that as members of the Paul Harris Society. We also expect 9 of our members to achieve sustaining member status, which is $100 in the Rotary year, but we're actually expecting them to give 150. And we expect 9 members also to achieve that $25 per person every Rotarian every year threshold. And in addition to all of that, through our fundraising and through other contributions, we expect to raise another $5,000 for the Rotary Foundation. Now, this isn't just for the annual fund. That also includes our donations to polio, which brings our total giving up to $85.75 is our goal for the 14-15 year. Of course, whenever you are on the computer and you enter anything, you want to make sure to save it, as those gray buttons at the bottom are for. You want to save your work before moving on. We encourage everyone in every Rotary Club to enter their goals and to be able to track it here. Now, your goals are input by the club, but the actual achievement is automatic. So once your contributions have been received and recorded by the Rotary Foundation, how you are doing will actually automatically appear in the Rotary Club Central snapshots and also on the reports. So let's take a look at what those reports might be. Every member of your Rotary Club can access Rotary Foundation reports from the Rotary Club Central application. So while you are on the Foundation Giving tab, all you need to do is select Reports from the left menu in order to access those reports. The really important one here for every Rotarian is the one under Individual Reports. This is the donor history report for you and you alone. The only people that know your donor history are you and the folks in Evanston that record the contributions. So if you want to run your own report and see where you're at and how many more dollars you need to achieve major donor or the next level of recognition, this is what you would run. Also, if you are in a program of employee matching for your donations, you may want to run this report in order to present to your employer to make sure that those matching dollars are sent into the Rotary Foundation. Okay, let's take a look at some of the other reports available under Club Reports and what they tell us, especially as leaders of the Rotary Club, and how we use them to motivate Rotarians and others to give to the Rotary Foundation. The first one we'll take a look at is the club fundraising analysis. This is a snapshot of your last 5 years of giving to the Rotary Foundation. It includes several areas of giving. It includes the annual fund goals on the upper left, the actual contributions in the middle, and total contributions, including other funds such as polio on the far right. We also have the per person or the per capita giving to the annual fund. And again, 13-14 was a high for this club. And so far we need to do a little work to boost it up from the $74. And it also compares our actual giving to the numbers of members we have. So what you might expect that lower membership translates into lower giving. Sometimes that's true, but this gives you an idea of what the impact might have been. Finally, at the bottom, we will see that we are looking at our every Rotarian every year, our sustaining member goal, and our Paul Harris Society goals, and how many that we have. So far last year, we had in 2013-14, we had 5 people who gave $1,000 or more. None of them have done that yet so far this year, so that's definitely an area where we want to focus our club fundraising efforts in order to encourage those great supporters to continue to do so in the future through the Paul Harris Society. The next one we're going to look at is the club recognition summary. This lists all of your club members, or if you have honorary members, you can include them as well. But this lists all of your club members plus your own Rotary Club. And it would show the total dollars they've given up to $9,000. However, I have redacted that information for the privacy of my members. But it does also include their current Paul Harris Fellow member level. And for example, we have John and Howard are Paul Harris Fellows plus 8. They are the highest level to be shown on this report. Next level up, Paul Harris plus 9 is major donor level. They're no longer tracked in total. You won't see their dollar amounts in total once they achieve major donor status. That's a different report run by the district and is used to encourage greater participation by our major donors. We see that the Paul Harris Fellow date is also included. We have a relatively new member, Lou Elliott, so he has a little ways to go before he becomes a Paul Harris Fellow, but he's already given. And so we see that he's already contributed in November 2014. His last fund that he contributed to was Polio Plus, and a number of our members have given to Polio Plus. And we also see that Howard Glasser has made a donation to the annual fund, as have several other members. The next column shows whether they are benefactors, having provided for Rotary in their will. And the final column, which is Rotary Direct, Orange Plaza isn't too good at that yet, but we are working on getting our members to sign up for Rotary Direct so that their contributions can be managed by them personally and that they can have control over the frequency and amount they are making on a regular basis to the Rotary Foundation. Also on this report, we see foundation recognition points available. Now, for those of you who don't know what recognition points are, I will explain. After you give your first $1,000 to the Rotary Foundation and become a Paul Harris Fellow, for every dollar that you give after that, you accumulate a recognition point. These recognition points can only be given away. You can't use them for anything else but to make other people Paul Harris Fellows. So, for example, if you wanted to run a motivational contest within your club, you might say, okay, the Rotary Club of Orange Plaza itself has 1,922 points. So, for every person in our club who contributes to the Rotary Foundation this month, we will match your dollars with foundation recognition points. In this way, someone might achieve the next level of Paul Harris recognition and get basically a 2-for-1 sale. Also, if you want to recognize someone in your community for all that they have done in support of the goals of the Rotary Foundation, they might not actually be a Rotarian, but you may want to hold a special luncheon and recognize them, invite leaders of the community, and draw attention to the Rotary Foundation. What better way than to take some recognition points and make that person a Paul Harris Fellow? Also, you may want to recognize members of your Rotary Club who may not have as many dollars to contribute to the Rotary Foundation, but who have contributed to the Rotary Foundation, and not only have contributed, but have participated in some of its programs and have shown a great leadership in the area of the Rotary Foundation. You might do that by granting them a few recognition points and boosting them to the next level of recognition in the Paul Harris Fellow structure. Every Rotarian, every year eligibility report. Well, this is an important one. Last year, the Rotary Club of Orange Plaza did achieve every Rotarian every year recognition. And this year, they've got a few more members that need to give that minimum before they will achieve that recognition. Every Rotarian every year is for donations to the annual fund. So although Lou, the new member, gave to polio, he doesn't qualify yet under the every Rotarian every year criteria because it did not go to the annual fund. So, a couple more members to get on board before this club achieves recognition for its Every Rotarian Every Year push for the current year. Other information on this report includes those who've already given $100 or more and are identified as sustaining members, and also what they did last year in terms of becoming a sustaining member. Also, we see that we have one Paul Harris Society member who is identified. That's Howard, and we're trying to have two, so we'll be working on that. And once again, Rotary Direct, how many people are signed up for online giving? None in this Rotary Club, something that we plan to fix soon. Finally, how many people gave $1,000 or more in 2013-14 that we'd like to see give again this year? We have 5. Only 2 of them are actually society members. So those other 3 we need to have a good talking to. This is a useful report to help you boost those who give regularly to the next level of recognition. This screen illustrates for you that every report that you run through the Rotary Club Central module or the reports module can be downloaded in PDF form for saving on your computer and reference, or can even be downloaded into Excel so that larger reports, larger Rotary clubs, that sort of thing, you can move it around, you can sort it, you can analyze it in any number of ways. So that's good to know that you don't have to keep going back in and looking at the report. You can save it to make it portable and easier for you to analyze. Finally, another quick way to access the Rotary Foundation reports is rather than going all through paging down to your profile and looking for that Rotary Club Central button and then clicking on Foundation Giving and then clicking on Reports, is simply to go, once you've logged into My Rotary, simply to go to the menu item, hover over the Rotary Foundation, and you'll see on the right Foundation Reports. From there, you could choose your reports and run them. If you have any questions about keeping track, you want to give a call to our district annual giving chair, Ray Benedictus, who is a computer guru. Also, anything on Rotary.org that gives you a fit, you're encouraged to contact the contact center, contact.center at Rotary.org for assistance. That will be the end of this particular segment on keeping track. This has been the last session of the Rotary Foundation Basics Seminar. I hope that you have found this useful. Of course, you can listen to any of these segments once again in order to increase your knowledge. I also encourage you to visit not only Rotary.org for information, but to visit Rotary 5320, Rotary5320.org, and visit the For Members link and the resources, including the Rotary Foundation resources, which include links to our webinars, to our YouTubes, to presentations, pamphlets, other downloads that will assist you in your understanding of the Rotary Foundation. For the Rotary Foundation and Rotary District 5320, this has been Ray Shaw, your past district governor. Thank you for listening.